IQ is not the thing that's going to make you rich. Here I'm sitting roughly 5 years into my entrepreneurial journey. I've made millions of dollars at this point in profit, that is. I'm sitting here isolated in Norway wearing a $100,000 watch, and these things don't faze me anymore. I've gotten accustomed to it because I've been making pretty decent money for a while now. And I've observed a lot of things throughout my journey to millions in profit. And well, yeah, in the last month alone, I think we've clocked in roughly $500,000 in profit. And by the end of the year, I expect that to grow to a couple million in profit per month. So we're on a really nice trajectory, but I don't come from wealth. And if you're sitting here watching this video hoping for answers to how to become rich or how to become smart or what the meaning of, not what the meaning of life is, but what the smartest path forward is, and if it's even possible, well then trust me when I say that I understand you. I've been in your shoes. I was exactly like that 5-6 years ago, looking through all online business videos on YouTube, trying to figure out which online business to test, which one to go with, which one is better. Firstly, let me just start off by saying it's definitely possible. Myself and a lot of other people are living proof of that. There's money in abundance out there. Fear not. I mean, if you create the right thing and sell the right thing and find the right way of doing it, I mean, money is not a problem. There's a lot of it. And you only really grasp and conceptualize and understand that once you've seen that money, like once you've started making that money, then you understand how big the world is and how big the markets are and how easy it actually is once you know it's possible. But it's not IQ that's going to get you there. I've observed lots of incredibly high intelligence people not make anything of themselves, not take any initiatives, not create any profitable businesses. And I've observed quite a lot of people of just average intelligence or even slightly below average intelligence make it quite big, start making 10K per month or 50K per month or even 100K per month. Because these people are taking the right steps. And these steps are not, again, they're not fueled by IQ, they're fueled by circumstance. They're fueled by, I hate this word mindset, but to a certain extent, it's correct. It's what you're accustomed to. I dare say that one of the reasons that I've had such immense success at such a young age is it has a lot to do with my childhood. I didn't grow up rich, but I also, how do I put this? I didn't grow up rich, but I also didn't grow up in a very traditional family. Even though we weren't rich, none of my parents were working traditional jobs. They were always trying to do their own projects, right? Some of them, succeeding sometimes, but it was always sort of ups and downs and, well, borderline. We didn't grow up rich, but also not traditional, right? So I never observed my parents working regular 9-to-5s. That was never the norm for me. And so already from the age of 5, 6, 7, I felt very, very different from all of my peers, from all of my schoolmates that had parents that were together, living in a house with 2 brothers or 2 siblings, and parents that were pursuing regular careers. When I was visiting those friends, I mean, my best friend during those years from childhood grew up in a very wealthy family. He had 2 siblings. Both of his parents were lawyers, living in beautiful houses where we'd always come, on days where we were, playing or whatever you call it. We always went to his house, and it was fun. Dog, huge house, beautiful garden. And I observed, this is actually an improvised thought, but funny enough, I observed this friend that I'm referring to right now have a bit of a downfall when he hit the age of 15, 16, because, well, he had grown up accustomed to all of these traditional things, and then all of a sudden a couple events happened that changed that whole dynamic, and all of a sudden he felt very out of place and very uncomfortable. And it is taking him a lot of years to get back up on the horse. He really lost himself for a while there. And so I'm the polar opposite. I grew up with a lot of challenges, and I experienced a lot of things that children of that age or any person just shouldn't experience. And what this partially led to was I had to come to the understanding that I could lose the things that were dearest to me like that. And by dearest to me, I mean even people, right? And so I didn't get attached emotionally to anything. And it taught me to always think objectively about everything in life. And so I would always critically think about just every predisposition, every job, every career, every life choice. I would always look at it from a different perspective than most of my friends. And so this meant that, when I was 6 years old, I started selling my toys because I wanted to make some money. When I was 8, I started selling candy because I wanted to make some money. And then by 10, 11, 12, I made quite a bunch of money selling, reselling sneakers and stuff like that. And then by the age of 15, 16, that's when I started getting into online business. And then since then, I'm 22 now. As I said, I've made millions, and it's been a steady sort of exponential curve upwards. And again, I think this has been allowed not by my IQ, whatever that may be. It's been fueled by my ability to give my mind the freedom and space to think about things from a different perspective. So again, when I observe average IQ or average intelligence people make it big, there's a common denominator. These are the people that just simply understand that you don't have to go the traditional route, and they look at their funds, even if it's just $100 or $500 or $1,000, whatever they have, they look at their funds and their brain as nothing else than tools to accelerate and fuel their exponential growth. Whatever they have in their account, they'll invest into help that can accelerate their growth. And their mind, they are always working to put it in a spot where it can exponentially improve itself, right? And so on the flip side of the coin, I mean, I have old friends that I don't see anymore, that I grew up with, that have been smoking weed every day for years, that just eat junk food on a weekly or daily basis, that don't work out that much. And these seem like really basic things that we've heard hundreds of people and health experts talk about. But it's just clear that the distinction here is not IQ. The difference is just predisposition and what you're accustomed to, and then it's just choices. The people who don't make it are these people that are smoking cigarettes and weed and are dependent on these things and go out drinking every weekend and don't eat healthy, don't do sports, don't challenge themselves, never challenge themselves to push their boundaries or to improve. And then there's the other people over here that really succeed. And again, they're not always intelligent, but you can't understand how many average intelligence people I've seen cross that 100K a month mark. A lot. And these are just the people who just analyze objectively, right? They might have had, maybe, who knows, maybe they've had a similar childhood or predisposition to me where they also didn't grow up in traditional households. I mean, there's definitely a correlation between people who grow up unorthodox or less traditional and people that succeed and think creatively. There's a clear proven correlation there. And so if you haven't grown up like that, if you've grown up in a traditional household, you need to work to re-engineer your thought process. You need to rework your brain and re-engineer your brain to be able to analyze everything critically and to think unemotionally and objectively about the status quo of things and about your possibilities. You see enough proof every day that it's possible. I'm one of them, but there's thousands, a million other people out there that you see it's possible. But until you experience it, it's just not, it's hard to believe or know that it's possible until you've experienced it. And so, yeah, I'm going off here. I want this to be a very raw video. I want this to feel like we're just having a one-to-one conversation, but I'm just going to look at my points quickly to make sure that I'm not sort of missing anything important here. Yeah, it's funny. There's so many people that nowadays they'll speak about the matrix, you're stuck in the matrix. And what is the matrix? I mean, people speak about this matrix nowadays like it's a new phenomena. Like 100 years ago or 1,000 years ago, everybody was just having fun and not doing regular labor, not working 9 to 5, and just not living in a matrix. And I don't know what people are on about. I mean, there's less of a matrix today than there's ever been before. I mean, you just go 100 or 200 years back. The amount of people that had zero opportunity and zero freedom to do anything at their own will, who was literally slaves or, just forced to do the same robotic labor for almost nothing every single day. It was far more than today. Like with the internet, I mean, you have all information and knowledge in the world at your fingertips. You just got to grab it, right? And no matter where you are, you can do something with it, because if you just have an internet connection, you can create. I'm literally recording this video on my iPhone. I usually use like a professional camera setup, but I just wanted this to be very raw. These phones, these smartphones nowadays, some people let this thing destroy their life, right? They scroll social media endlessly. They watch porn on this device. The way I see this device, and the way I know a lot of other people see this device, is it's a remote control to the world. It's access to every corner of the world and every person in the world. And I don't even say that in a bad way. I don't say that to say that I look at it as a tool that I can use to exploit people. Quite the opposite. I see it as a tool that I can use to bring value to more people than would have been possible before. For me to impact as many thousands of people as I'm doing today without this internet thing, it would pretty much be impossible, right? So stop talking about this matrix thing like it's some new phenomenon. People, there have been class differences, there have been the elite, there have been the wealthy people for thousands of years. And if anything, the playing field today is a million times more open than it was just 100 or 200 years ago. You have so much more opportunity. Especially like, and it goes, the increase of opportunity grows exponentially with the poorer of a background you come from, right? If we compare today to 200 years ago. 200 years ago, there was, or even going back to the Industrial Revolution, if you had the funds and the connections, and sort of the capital and the connections, then there were a wide array of opportunities, and you can make billions of dollars by creating railroads or factories that could produce anything. The Industrial Revolution was obviously a boom, but if you grew up poor without any connections, yes, you could make it, but it was very, very slim chances, almost impossible. There are case studies, of course, but very difficult. Today, if you grew up without anything, without the connections, without fancy education, without the capital, the playing field has never been better for you than it is today. Never in history. So, I don't like to tell people what to do. I mean, I can only give recommendations. You treat your mind and your body however you want, right? But just don't look at success as this mysterious thing that's floating around the air. Some people get it if they're lucky or if they have the right opportunity at the right time, and some people don't. It kills me to see friends and peers and just contemporaries regarding success or affluence or wealth and freedom as this mysterious cloud that's unattainable or that's attainable by accident. Do what you want with your mind and body, but please just at least regard the consequences as objective. Don't make them mysterious. If you're smoking weed every day, you're going to be weaker. You're going to be less smart. Okay? If you're smoking cigarettes every day, you're going to be more lazy. Right? This nicotine thing, it's less dire, right? And there are even examples of people that just incorporate nicotine in their work to keep up their energy level. So this one is less of a dire situation. But if you go out and get wasted on alcohol every weekend, you're literally killing your brain. If you smoke weed on a daily basis, you will objectively become a weaker person with less motivation, less inspiration to actually do things. You might take a hit and look at the world differently and have all these ideas, but as soon as that's over, you're left with nothing, right? Another thing I would definitely say, if we're talking about, again, how average intelligence or even low IQ people are getting wealthy, there are studies that prove that you cannot really increase your biological IQ. That's very difficult. But what you can do is you can become smarter. You can grow your intellect, if you will. You can become a smarter person. There's no surprise, right? Now, one way to do that is obviously reading books, attending courses. I mean, just attaining knowledge, right? But another common denominator between these people, even of average intelligence, that really make it big is they practice their knowledge consumption and their ability to digest it and formulate it and make conclusions based off of what they learn. And it's very simple how to do this. If you're listening to a podcast or even this video, or you're reading a book, right after you finish reading or listening, write down notes, write down reflections. Once you've finished writing down your notes and reflections, read them to yourself. Even better, read them out loud. Just if you're alone in a room, literally read them out loud. Because what that does is gradually, day by day, it increases your ability to formulate extended sentences, reflections, and the ability to come to conclusions. We all know that feeling of having a sudden spark, like an idea, just a glimpse of an idea that could change the world, right? We all know, like, feeling, oh, that was crazy, and then you lose it again. We all know that feeling. And unless you intentionally practice your ability to formulate reflections and come to conclusions, then it will always be like that. But when you practice these things, it means that when you get those glimpses, well, you can actually turn them into something tangible and concrete. And that just comes with practice. And so when I talk about how to become smarter, that's one of the things I would recommend to just about anybody I meet. Literally write down reflections every single day and read them out loud and practice. Even just sit in front of a camera and just talk about one subject for 10 minutes with no intention. You're never going to upload it anywhere. It's just for yourself. But the praxis of having a reflection, having a subject to speak on, and then just practicing the ability to expand your mind and to unfold your creativity and your ideas on that, and to formulate coherent sentences and come to conclusions, that will make you smarter. That will put you in a better predisposition to consume and digest knowledge and to turn into something tangible. So yeah, I'm going in many different directions with this video. It's coming from the bottom of my heart. I'm pretending like I'm just speaking to my best friend or a family member that I just genuinely want to help. Again, I've made millions. I know what not the top looks like. I don't come from a billionaire Saudi oil family or anything like that. I mean, I'm not even a billionaire, far from it. But I've made a lot of million now, and I'm pretty confident by the end of the year I'll be doing multiple million per month with the way the trajectory is looking right now. So I'm coming from a point of quite a lot of experience, and not just experience in my early life, experiencing horrible things that kind of made me who I am, but also when I look back at the stuff I did, 5 years ago when I was first getting into online business, obviously a lot of it makes me cringe severely, but that doesn't mean I regret it or that I wish I could take it back, because I would have never gotten here without making all those errors and all those cringy things. So again, coming back to these average intelligence people, they don't feel like they have that much to lose. If you're high in intellect, you are going to be very careful with how people judge you or with what you say, and that's actually going to hold you back. Whereas a lot of these people, they're just determined. They don't care about being cringe. They only look at their mind and their funds as a tool to accelerate their growth, and they're open, they're agile, and they're listening. And that's what makes them accelerate in success, and that's what makes them get to 10, 50, 100 plus $1,000 per month. I've done it, and I've seen so many people do it themselves. So yeah, that's it's an honest video coming from the bottom of my heart. I hope you didn't find this boring, and I hope you could look at this as sort of just a one-to-one honest consultation, just me sharing some of my experiences with you. Just looking if there's any really golden nuggets that I've left out that I want to pass on to you here. I think this is pretty much about it. I really hope you took some notes, or that you took away some concise points that you can incorporate in your daily life. The last thing I would say is, and I'm probably going to go more into depth with this in a longer video because it's quite an important thing, but really try and picture what the most ideal version of yourself looks like. Who do you aspire to be? How does people regard that person? How much money does that person make? How does that person treat his family? How does that person treat his life partner? How does that person's life look? Think about that version of yourself, write it down, and then every morning literally read that character. Pretend it's a video game character, but it's yourself and the video game is life. Write that down, read it through every morning, and I'm not religious. I don't believe in magic, but trust me when I say you will see magic unfold if you do that. You will slowly turn into that character day by day. It works. It really does. But I'll go much more into depth with that in a more concise video because it's a very important subject. I really hope you enjoyed this video and that you found it valuable. I'll see you in the next one.